put my kids to bed, grabbed my dope, went into the bathroom. Something turned me around and I fell to my knees. My hands just went down in the praying and my head went down. And I heard the most beautiful voice. He said, "That's enough. I'll take it away."
This is Hard Knocks Talks.
Tanya, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, thanks for driving up this morning all the way from Regina.
Yes, Regina, Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
Regina.
Oh, really?
Born and raised.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about it.
I will. So this is the thing with my mom is my biological father, he's not in my life, was never in my life.
Mm-hmm.
He is Jamaican, came from Jamaica. What I know about him is he came here, he was in university to become a brain surgeon. Yeah. And he got in contact with some pretty bad people. And let's just say that thought went out the window and he kind of lived like the street life.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He did an armed robbery. I have the article still. That was really, really tough for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
He was living a double life. And
Was he actually in school?
yeah, he did go to school.
He didn't graduate?
No, he dropped out. He met some really bad people.
Wow.
And he quit doing that.
That's such a wild story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nonetheless, he did this armed robbery. He hid the jewelry in our attic at our house. At this time, I think I was 13 or 14 months. My mom was presented with a very difficult decision. The cops had come to the house, and I need you to understand, before I say what I'm about to say, he came to the house and he stole $1,600 from my mom. I needed diapers and formula, and he knew that she had money and he came and he took it. The cops came to my mom's house and she told them where the stuff was. And so for many years, he said, "Your mom took me from you. Like I wasn't in your life because of this, that, and the other."
So it wasn't because he did the crime. It was
No.
because your mom narked on him.
Yeah. So
Did you buy that at the time?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Oh, no. Our relationship went from bad to absolutely terrible. The nerve of him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the changing point in my life.
Yeah.
So I get mad, right? And I never realized the deep-rooted impact.
Mm-hmm.
At 7 years old, the only father that I had in my life until my mother married my father, which is Michael Ironchild, the only male energy I had was one of my other uncles. He wasn't a good role model.
Mm-hmm.
I remember at 7 years old, they were partying. I remember this. This is one of those things that you call the core memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what time it was, middle of the night. We hear confrontation. Me and my sisters were like the three little bears, my oldest sister, my middle sister, and then myself. We all got woken up from the loudness that was going on, and we come out and it was like all three of our heads were like the three little bears around the corner wondering what's going on, right? My uncle beat the shit out of this man. I mean, it was so bad. I remember looking and I'm watching just this darkness fill him. And it was almost like he knew the power that he had and he didn't stop himself, right? Like it was just boof, boof. And I started noticing blood. Then I noticed like skin flying. And then before you know it, his eye was hanging out of his head.
Oh.
And I remember them, I don't know if the cops came or the ambulance came, but I do remember that energy got out of the house. And my uncle, and I do believe the story that they told the police when they came was they found him like that. So nobody went to jail. Nobody, I remember, like it just got cleared out. And I was like, what the heck? And then my uncle grabbed a Bible and I was his favorite. And I know why, because anyways, we'll get into that. And my nickname from him was my Lord. And so he grabbed the Bible and he brought it to me, and he had blood all over his hands. And I should have brought the Bible to show you, actually, because the blood's still in the Bible.
Wow.
And he rubbed it all over the pages. And he said, what you saw here today was something you shouldn't have saw, but you have to understand the power that lies within you. You remember this day, and you remember you always go back. And he pointed to the Bible. I got to go ask for forgiveness, and I'm sorry you saw that. And then his blood's all over the pages, and he hands me the Bible. And I'm like, what in the mayhem is this? You know, like I was 6 years old, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Sounds very wise.
yeah, but it was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was almost like, in my mind, now you'll understand why I said this left a big impact on me, is we could make bad choices and do bad things, but just remember to come back to God. And that wasn't the right way for me to think and feel, because I hurt a lot of people in my journey. I hurt a lot of people.
And you hid behind that?
And I hid behind that because it's like, yes, I might have knocked your teeth out or ripped your ear off the side of your face, but, you know.
Yeah. I can come back to God.
I can come back to God.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was a real misinterpretation.
Mm-hmm.
But then it actually makes a lot of sense now to understand that the spiritual warfare that happens within the body. Yeah.
And your uncle understood that?
Yeah.
It sounds like he really understood
Oh,
that.
yeah. My uncle was almost too smart for his own good. You know what I mean? I feel like he utilized a lot of dark energy throughout his life.
Okay.
He knew
Mm-hmm.
he knew that this is the devil's den, right? And he either plays with the demons or fights them. And most of the time in his life, he played with them.
So the cops showed up.
Yep.
And they said that they found him like this.
Yep.
And the cops believed him, but you also mentioned that you believed them too.
Yeah.
You could feel you remember feeling the energy.
Yes.
And when you were 7 and you felt that energy leave the house.
Yep.
You believed that what remained found that person there.
Yep. Yep.
That's incredible. That's an incredible realization at 7 years old.
Yeah.
And to have that be your truth. Like,
Yep.
I believe these people.
Yep.
Yeah. Wild.
And it was something that I had to unlearn as I got older.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that now, that she did the best that she could with the knowledge and the power that she had. She would wake us up and we would go sit with her, and she'd listen to old country music, and we'd sit there and we'd cry with her. And I didn't know how to help my mom. So we just sat there and we cried with her. And, you know, she always prepared us for her death. From a very young age, you know, my mom always said, one day you're going to have to walk this earth without me. She knew that she didn't break the curse on the family. She knew that one of us girls would have to do it. Even though she might have woke us up and made us sit with her while she was drinking, she also told us, this is the devil's poison. Don't do what I'm doing. You guys need to be better than me. She always reminded us that what she was doing, just because she was doing it, that don't do it. Like, just, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not giving you guys permission to do this.
Do you think alcohol ever helped your mom love you better?
I think so. I really do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like she became vulnerable. When she was sober, she was very, you know,
Closed off.
Nobody got here.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Think that was shame?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shame and guilt, fear.
And alcohol helped her get past that?
Absolutely.
You had
Yeah.
good talks with her?
Oh yeah. It's so crazy. That woman was so powerful. You know, there was a changing moment. You know, when a spiritual warfare happened to me at a very young age. And it was Christmas Eve. And there was a knock on the wall. And I was like, what? And I get up and I hear that, boof, boof, oof, on the wall. And you know that feeling when you know you're not alone, like somebody's there, somebody's
Mm-hmm.
watching you?
Mm-hmm.
I felt that from head to toe. And then I start turning over very slowly, and boom, there it was. There is this big, tall entity, top hat. I know there's many people who are on their spiritual journey who has encountered this entity.
Mm-hmm.
He has the top hat, long trench coat, beady red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn over and I look at him and I was like, nope. Sleep paralysis. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't move. I hear him like it was stomps on the floor, walk towards the bed. He stands at the end of the bed. And at this time, I'm like 9 or 10 years old. It has to be somewhere around there, that framework. And I could feel him enter my body from my feet. And it's getting closer and closer and closer. And all of a sudden, my grandma, whom I remember, but I don't remember her because she passed away when I was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear her pray. And she spoke something in Michif. And I'm like, what? She goes, pray, my girl, pray. And all of a sudden, our Father who art in heaven, I just started praying. He couldn't get past here. I just kept praying. I kept praying, but I felt numb from my chest down. And at that moment, I didn't know what to do. I was like praying, and then my girl, I could hear her like she was right there. My girl, it's okay, don't worry. And I'm like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden, bah! I let out the biggest, loudest scream. My mom and my dad come down thinking somebody's in the house trying to take me. Something's happening. They run. They turn on the bedroom light. My mom goes, what happened? I said, there's a man, black. And I described everything to her. She grabbed out the smudge, the sweetgrass, the sage, the holy water. She poured it all over my head. She called my uncle who was in another province. And she said, he's coming for her now. And I remember my mom bundling me and praying over me, holding my hands, anointing me, oiling me. I was like, what is happening, right? I didn't know what was going on. And then that was another changing moment in my life when I started seeing and feeling things from a totally different vibration. I realized that I have something that my sisters and my family don't, because I would see things like this, but I thought everyone did. But that day when my mom was on the phone and she described how this was not normal, that's when I really knew things changed. And then I really wrestled with that throughout life, like with addiction, alcohol, things like that.
So let's talk about that then. When did that start to come into your life? Like what did your life look like when it did?
So we would, any normal teenager, we would sneak out of the house, me and my sister, and we would just go and get drunk. And we didn't think anything of it, right? It's like, oh, it's just a Friday night, which turned into like a Friday and Saturday, which then turned into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe sometimes we might, sneak a drink on a Monday. And when I say we, a lot of the things that I did in my life, I did do with my sister. She met somebody who was the love of her life, I will say that. But he introduced a whole new whirlwind of drugs. And when he brought that in, I was right there. And then I was set to go get my social work degree and finished high school. I was working, had my job. Then the phone call. My mom calls me while I'm at work and she said, your dad called. She's like, you got to call him when you get home. And when I heard him say my name, I like melted. And then the guilt came in because somebody else did for me what he was supposed to do. And then he put the blame on my mom. And that's when fire, this meltingness turned into stone cold. I could feel myself physically changing as he was talking. I was like, how dare you? He goes, I'm going to send you money. I said, do you think that's going to make it all better? He goes, I'm going to send you money. I'm going to send it here, da-da-da. So he sends money. Then he calls me and he says, Tanya, I need you to disperse this money between your brother and your sister. One lives in Saskatchewan. The other one lives in Ontario. You're the oldest. Can I get you to do this? And I thought, first of all, you're going to let me know I have siblings? Like, now I have, like, what? First of all, you're just in my life. Now you're letting me know I have siblings. And then you want me to give them money? I didn't give them the money. And I didn't talk to him ever again.
So what did life look like moving forward from that then?
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right away, self-destruction?
I'm telling you.
Like knowingly self-destructing?
Yes. I went out that weekend, not that weekend, the weekend after it happened. There was drugs going around and I did it. And then I didn't stop. My one friend was doing lines in the bathroom and she goes, "Do you want one?" And I knew where my sister was and what got her there. And she made me promise her that I would never touch these kind of drugs. And in that moment when it was there, presented, I said, yeah. That feeling when you do your first line, it took it all away.
I've heard, I sat with an elder, Joanne Saddleback, in ceremony a few months ago. And she says oftentimes the first time someone does drugs is the first time they feel what they perceive to be love.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And the guilt and the shame that came with that.
Gone.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then my life from that day forward was about getting high. My mom saw it. And so she just told me, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see what's happening. My girl, you can't run from that. There's nothing that's going to numb that. There's nothing that's going to take that away. You have to face it. And I'm going to be completely honest. At the time, I didn't take her serious because of what she was doing. And life just got terrible.
Tell me about it.
You know, I was using my body to get what I needed. I didn't have my children yet, so I was partying. And I'm talking like ecstasy, Molly, mushrooms, cocaine, then turned into crack. Once I tried crack for the first time, I never snorted cocaine ever again because it was a waste.
Did the mushrooms try to warn you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
When I did the mushrooms, they showed me, this is when I really, like, spiritual warfare really started.
Mm-hmm.
They showed me a whole nother life.
You're strong teachers.
Yes. And it's crazy because I did mushrooms with my baby sister who lived with me, who we did mushrooms. And when we came out of our trip, she looked at me and she said, "I need to get away from you. What you're doing in that room, I can't take it anymore. That I'm just sitting here," and it was my lighter going off all night. "I'm just sitting here and I hear what you're doing. It's not good." And so when I did the mushrooms, they showed me a very dark place. Very, very dark place. My experience wasn't ha ha ha, you know, sitting back. It was dark. I was like, whoa, man. And I'm seeing things like entities, things jumping out of the wall, this feeling of guilt and it just amplified when I was in there.
You can't shut your eyes to it.
No. And it was life-changing. When that moment happened, I was already with my children's father. Life got really, really dark. He brought a lot of really bad people.
Gang involved?
Yes. Really bad people into our life. My house became a chop house. You know, had the kids. He almost missed the birth of our son because he was out with these chicks and doing dope. I had to let these guys come into my house and use my basement as a chop. I was in addiction, so they just throw me dope like I was some type of peasant. I had surveillance. I mean, there was cops. I walk out of the door and you can see them. They're big things at my house. They're big I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, hey, do you understand what, like, there's cops watching the house. He's like, well, they don't leave anything here. I said, this is their chop house. What do you mean? Come to find out they were hiding dope all on my rafters in my basement. I found it and I took some of their dope for sure. I'm dead ass. I'm telling you, I did.
Confessions on Hard Knocks Talks.
Yeah. I took that dope.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. Yeah, it got really, really bad. My sister passed away in 2011.
So what did that do to you then?
I was a wreck. I had zero cares in the world. My kids were a burden. Life, couldn't stand it. Anything to escape. I tried meth. I was smoking rock every day. My money never, ever went on anything but dope. My children's father was an excellent thief. I'm telling you, like home renovation stuff, that people were hiring him to get all of their reno stuff half price, right? We didn't have to worry about anything. We were smoking anywhere from like, for sure, 2 balls, but anything over that every day. And there was moments of despair, you know, when me and my children's father would get into a fight, he'd end up going to jail. I'd call the cops. I was doing things that I wasn't proud of to continue to feed my addiction, right? And there was a moment when I lost my children for a week. And that was, my mom hated me, man. She was so mad. And I couldn't function without them. I didn't know. I was so mad at myself. Like every thought was going through my head. Just kill yourself. You lost your kids for some man fighting with their dad when my mom told me, leave him. And I didn't listen.
Violence.
Yep.
In front of the kids.
Yep. He hit me when I was holding my baby in my arms. Me and my kids had to go and hide in a closet. He didn't get mad very often, but when he did, you could see in his eyes. And I was very aggressive, you know. I admit that my faults in that relationship. When I wanted something, get it for me. If you don't, we're going to have a problem. And it was bad. The only ones that got hurt were my children.
Were you ever jumped in?
Yeah. No. Me? No. No. I did a lot of really bad things. I had people do things for me, not me do things for people. I think the worst thing that I did was allow people to chop in my house without paying me properly. And that was because I was so deep in my addiction, right? I just didn't care. They had a lot of dope in my house. And they would keep me out of my own basement. Like, don't come down here. And I'm just like now, being where I am now, I'm just like, what were you thinking? And then there was a time when I went down and I saw how much they were chopping. And I knew what they were giving me. And I was like, this ain't happening no more. This right here ain't happening no more. You see what that is? And what are you guys? No. Things got really, really ugly after that. My children's father went to jail. The cops came to me and they said to me, he's going to go away. Like, he's not going to be here for Christmas. Then they threw a file in front of me and they showed me the manipulation of cops, right? They showed me all my photos of selling dope.
You were?
Yep. They had photos of me. They told me that they're going to get my kids taken away, which was already a trigger because 7 months prior, my kids were taken away from me, right? So, yeah, Kevin's not going to be home for Christmas. So what are you going to give us? Because we can make sure that he comes home. And I was like, what do you want? They're like, who are these guys that are at your house? And I told them everything. I told them everything. And that was one of the rules in my life is you don't ever snitch. You don't ever say nothing. But that's what I did for that man. That's how manipulated and how in love with him that I was, that I went over even my own values for him to get him out of jail. And I got him out of jail. And that's when the real warfare, that was a changing moment again in my life, when it was like just dark shadows came after me, because these were Africans, right? I don't know if they were doing spell work or whatever, but I'm telling you, when you get high, yeah, weird things you see. But it was after that moment, I had
Meth
demons.
thins the veil.
Yes, I had demons. I had portals. I was like, what the hell, man? And there was banging. I would be sitting there and it's like something dropped in front of me, but there was nothing there. But I could feel the vibration on my feet. And I was like, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost like I lost a piece of myself.
Every decision made is a contract signed with someone.
Yes. And that's exactly what that felt like.
Yeah.
It's like I sold my soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Every time, even meth, every time I did that, it was so, like, I thought there was things living in my mirrors, which there were. I knew there were. And then the one mirror, every night when I'd go to bed in my room, I felt like there was things coming at me, and I'm like, okay, I got to get off this. Like, I can't do this drug. Like, this drug is, I can't even sleep, for one. For two, the way that it's making me feel, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. All of a sudden, the next day, I was in the living room, and I was sitting there with my kids. I hear this big smash. That freaking mirror, I have no idea how, because it was screwed onto the back of it was one of those big dressers, old wood, right? Thick, totally broke over and smashed all over my bedroom floor. How?
Someone was helping you.
Somebody, right? Whatever was in there. I couldn't sleep. I thought I was going nuts. Right? I was like 4 days, 5 days, 6 days.
You probably
7...
were going nuts.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening, right?
I don't think that's a stretch, sis.
Yeah, it was bad. And when that broke, I got rid of that. But things didn't get better. They didn't.
So what was it then? What was it that finally like kicked you into that decision to change your life?
It was the passing of my mom. Now, I want to just say 3 days before she passed, so April 2nd. She came to my house and she sat there. My mom had long, beautiful hair. And my nickname was My Tanny. She goes, My Tanny. I said, what? She said, come braid mommy's hair. Outside though. I said, okay. So I take the water bottle brush and I go in the backyard. And she's sitting in the chair in front of me. And she goes, braid my hair one last time. And I said, what do you mean one last time? She goes. And then I put my hand on her shoulder. And I said, what do you mean one last time? Like my hand's over, like, and I put my head around that way. It's like, what do you mean one last time? And she said, I'm going to do more for you up there than I can down here. It's almost like God showed her something. People say they know when they're going to pass. Mm-hmm. They just act different. So I'm braiding her hair and I'm giving her shit. I said, Mom, don't say that.
You're still using?
Oh, very actively, yep. And she called me, would have been May 5th at 4 a.m. I'm fucking high, like buzzing, right? Like, and I see her calling at 4 and I don't answer it. And so I'm looking at my phone and I'm just so disorientated. I'm not even connected to my heart chakra. I just see her calling and I'm like, you know, that paranoid feeling, because the longer,
can't be real.
Yes, the longer you do dope, it's just paranoid. It's not even fun, you know, it's just an escape. So when I got the phone call, I ended up going to sleep for like 4 hours. I got the phone call that my mom passed away. My daughter brought me the phone in the shower. I'm just kind of waking up. I have to because I have the kids, right? I can't sleep, even though I just went to bed at 7 a.m. Got up, had a shower. My daughter brings me the phone and she said, "It's Auntie Mel." And I said, "I'm showering." She goes, "Mom, you need to take this call." And I put the phone to my ear. I'm wet. I'm like, "Hello." And she didn't even, as soon as she said, because my nickname from her is Nan. So she said, "Nan." And as soon as I heard her say that, she didn't need to say anything else. I already knew. I threw the phone, turned off the water. I destroyed my bathroom. That's it. That's all I did. I just kept screaming and I threw on whatever, got in my car and I zoomed. And there my mom was when I walked into the door. They moved her from her room to the kitchen and they're doing CPR and they said they got a heartbeat and they zoomed her out of the door into the ambulance, and then we went to the hospital and she couldn't recover from that.
What was it?
Heart attack. She always told us that too, all of her life. She said, "When I pass away, it's going to be in my room, in my bed." God showed me. I really do feel like she died of a broken heart. She couldn't live without my sister. She could not live without my sister. And so when my mom passed away, I went home. I went and picked up liquor. I had dope on the way. And that next year, and I don't remember. I don't remember. I remember fighting with the kid's dad. I remember, telling my kids, "Leave me alone." I remember sitting in the basement a lot. I was just pacing and drunk and high, going out with people who were not my frickin' friends, doing things that I'm just not proud. It was dark. It was very dark. And that was it. I knew like I'm probably going to leave these kids without a mother. Like I just felt it inside of me. I was okay with that. And so there was a lot of things that happened. My kid's dad, I got him picked up because he shattered my foot. He fractured my foot. He wouldn't help with his kids, but he had all this dope money, right? And he tried to come throw pills at me to sell. Like again, just treated me so, ugh. And so he was in jail. His prescription was at the pharmacy. So I went and picked that up. I had no money. He's in jail. My kids need food. I need dope. I need alcohol. This is now August 19th of 2019. And I'm like, okay with whatever Creator has for me. Whatever that is, whatever that might be. I'm okay with it. My sisters will take care of my kids. They'll be fine. Whatever the choice, whatever. I was at my breaking point. So my dealer liked down. I liked up. He had up. I had down. We did a switcheroo. I also sold some. I was able to go and fill up my deep freeze and my fridge. I was able to pick up 48 beer, a ball, and put my kids to bed. Grabbed my dope. I went into the bathroom. I grabbed my beer. And anybody who does drugs, that feeling. You're like ready. Whew, yeah, get to get high. Kids are in bed. Nobody's here. Kids' dad's out of the picture. I'm like, yes, this is the best. All by myself, right? I put the dope down, my spoon, had all my supplies there. My beer's there. I'm about to take a sip, but then I start feeling this, like, it's the claw on my back. I'm like, what the heck? I'm not even high yet. Like, what is going on? And it gets worse. And it gets worse. And I'm like a bear scratching its back on the wall. And I'm doing that on my bathroom wall. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm looking at my dope. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I could feel it, this heaviness on me. All of a sudden, something turned me around and I fell to my knees. My hands just went down in the praying, and my head went down. And I heard the most beautiful voice. He said, "That's enough. I'll take it away. But that's enough." And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is that? And then I hear it again. "That's enough. I'll take it away. You have a job to do." And I'm telling you, 33 years I lived this earth. 33 years I was lost. In that one moment when I felt God, the Creator, it all made sense. All my life it never made sense. And it was that moment when it made sense. I stood up and I looked down at my dope, at my beer. This is the first time in 33 years I ever saw myself. I've looked in the mirror many times and never seen me. He gave me back my soul that day. I looked and I started touching my face. I was looking at the dope and I was like, what? What? I was disgusted. I was like, wow, what are you doing? What are you doing? What did you do? And I just started holding myself and I started crying. I saw that dope and I grabbed it. I flushed it down the toilet. Grabbed that beer, put that one in the bathroom sink. Went back into the bathroom and I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at myself. I just can't believe, like, it's almost like something was given back to me. I just couldn't believe I'm touching my face. I'm like, what? I'm pinching. Like, what did you do? And then your babies. It's like, my kids. What did I do to my kids? What did I do? And I opened up my daughter, my oldest one, opened up her door. She was 9 at the time. And I walk over to her. Like any normal person, you wake up because you can feel someone's right. And she looks scared. "What, mommy?" I said, "Nothing." She's like, "Are you okay? What's going on? Did I do something?" I said, "No." I said, "Can I hold you though?" She said, "Okay." So she came out of her room with me and we sat on my couch. And I held her like a baby. I put her in my arms like this, 9 years old. I said, "Tell me about yourself." She goes, "What?" I said, "What kind of mom am I?" She goes, I don't know, Mom." It's like, I want you to know that who you knew before, you won't know her anymore, okay? And she's looking at me with confusion. I said, "I'm sorry for the things that I've done to you." I said, "And one day we're going to sit and we're going to talk about that. Because I wasn't good to you guys and I'm sorry." She said, I know you're just lost because you don't have grandma. I know that." And I said, "I'm sorry for all the hurt and the pain that I did to you, your brother, and your baby sister." I said, "But that version, you won't see her ever again." That's what I thought. I dumped out the beer. My awakening started happening. But the devil didn't sleep on me. As protected as I am with God, as much as God wants me to walk in that way, so did the devil. So I still battled. It was about 2 years. Changed my life, left the kid's dad, got better, made a business, did something good for myself.
Like clean and sober?
Clean and sober.
Devil's still walking with you.
You got it.
I feel that. Parenting in the Storm is a 2-day experiential retreat-style workshop Donna and I created based on our own lived experiences with parenting through addiction, child apprehension, family court, and the long road back to trust and connection. It's a space for parents or caregivers in or seeking recovery who want to rebuild communication, peace, and hope with their partner or co-parent and model healthy relationships for their children. We don't come as clinicians. We come as parents who've walked that path and are finding our way back. If you want more information or would like to bring Parenting in the Storm to your community or organization, or even if you'd like to make a donation so we can bring this to more parents, all that information is in the show notes below. Since 2008, 1,500 workers have stood up for themselves and won their union with SEIU West. Workers came together and won better conditions for health and safety, better pay, respect on the job. It's your turn to win. Canada deserves better. Workers deserve better. You deserve better. Visit seiuwest.ca, link in the show notes, and click on contact so we can help you and your coworkers win your union. Wellness News Choice for Healthy Living is a local resource that works to connect people to health and wellness-related products, services, and expert advice from industry professionals, locally allowing us to connect and engage. Check out wellnessnews.ca or skwellnesshub.ca today to learn more. If you want to support the channel, there are a few ways. By becoming a paid member right here on YouTube and get early access to new episodes, you can buy us a coffee or you can pick up some merch. Links to all that stuff is in the show notes below. And of course, always remember to give us a like, leave us a comment, and if you're new, a sub to the channel would mean the world to us because it all helps us keep getting louder.
My uncle, he passed away in 2023 and I took care of him before he died. He had cancer. You know, watching a man die, I don't know what's worse, getting a phone call that someone suddenly passed, or watching someone deteriorate and turn into something that you don't recognize. I don't know what's worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so here I am on my healing journey. No drinking, no nothing.
What does that look like? Ceremony? Does that look like church? Does it look like, what does that look like?
It looks raw and uncomfortable. Journaling, crying, everything. I brought it all up.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like when you're on your spiritual journey, you know the scene in 8 Mile at the end where Rabbit is on the stage and he's like, I am a fucking bomb. My mom is, you know, I live in a trailer park with my mom. That part on there, that's literally what healing is every dark aspect of you that you try and hide from, bring it out. That's the only way through, because the devil will use that as a tactic. You're a bad mom, you're a bad sister, you're a bad daughter, you did the. Soon as you confront all of those darkness, those hurts, you have nothing to hide. I had nothing to numb. I had to admit that I was mad at my mom who no longer lived because a man who I know couldn't give me what I wanted, but you never gave him the chance. I had to vocalize all of these things that weren't real.
To who?
Myself. My soul. All of these things, these self bondages that so many of us do to ourselves. I had to confess.
Relieve me of the bondage of self.
Yes. And that's a road that many people still till this day, you know, my children's dad will never admit his wrong. It's the most freeing thing. Who in the hell are you or me to judge anybody? Nobody has that right on this earth. Even all the things I laid out here, nobody gets to judge me. Creator will when my time comes. And that's what I did. Is I was done judging myself. In those 2 years, deep healing, crying, vulnerability, forgiveness.
Ceremony?
Sweat.
Yes.
Prayer. I did go to church for a while, you know, and then I just realized that's a whole nother conversation of the box that they put you in there, right? I don't know what God they work for, but mine doesn't judge. Mine doesn't care who you love. Mine doesn't care what you call yourself, right? I didn't like that box, that structure. So I quickly, you know, beelined it out of there because my grandmother was a God-fearing woman. My mom's mom. She loved the Bible, you know, and so
beautiful book.
It is. I love it. It's a great outline, actually, that a lot of people should use, developing themselves in their spiritual awakening, because it's in there where God teaches, You don't judge, and you help when you can, but you don't overgive something that you can't give. Right? Like a lot of people think like, look what I do for this person. Look what I do for that person. They think it's like, that's not good. And God's like, what are you doing? You can't pour from an empty well. Fill your well first.
Yeah, yeah.
And those who you're meant to help I'll show you them, but fill your well first.
So what did that look like then with your kids in your first 2 years there when everything was raw? I mean, I know that I haven't been a perfect father. I put down the dope. That didn't make me a perfect father.
That's right.
Still to this day.
I'm still learning this thing. You know what? I'm still learning. I love that we're saying that. You know how hard it was for me, my baby. Oh, she's just my angel, my harm. That little girl taught me, because I was sexually assaulted when I was young. And I don't like to be touched. Like, don't touch me. And it's hard for me. Like, when you hug me, okay, that's enough. That's too long. Stop, right? I'm still working through that. I'm still learning how to let myself be loved. That I am worthy enough. That I am good enough. And it's my kids. I think that they need to have this, that, and they're like, Mom.
And they keep loving you.
Yes, even on our
no
worst
matter
days.
what.
Yes.
Oh, man, my kids are my greatest teacher. They're bar none.
Period.
Bar none.
Period.
They have seen me at my worst, and they still love me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even on my days when I just need to be alone and I feel that parental guilt of like,
shouldn't have yelled.
Yeah, I shouldn't have
punished.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I always feel like I have to be great because their father is not. And it's like, I always have to try and make up for that. And it was my baby, I want to say last week. She's like, Mom, why do you put so much pressure on yourself? We have everything we need, plus more. And I'm like, I love this kid. She actually helped me. There was a time when, so do you still do mushrooms or DMT?
I have. I mean, it's been about a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So DMT is like my thing.
Not DMT. I haven't experienced that yet.
Oh, it's absolutely magnificent. We should do it sometime.
We'll talk later. I don't go anywhere without a guide.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I was on mushrooms though. I took the golden teachers.
Oh.
I love those.
My last trip was albino penis envy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those ones are good.
It wasn't kind to me.
No, it was mean.
Yeah.
It was bad. The golden teachers.
I keep trying to fight, man. I keep trying to fight.
You're so funny. That's literally what I was just going to tell you.
Yeah.
On my trip, I was laying in my daughter's room, and my oldest daughter, and I'm fucking mad. Okay, like I'm mad. I'm like, look what they did to me. I'm talking like they were unleashing everything, the darkness within my family, what my sisters, everyone did. Like I was like, everyone knew I was gifted in my family. Okay. And they played a big part on making sure that I didn't find out who I was. Anyways, they're showing me. All of a sudden, my little 7-year-old walks in the bedroom and she looks like my mom.
And you're on mushrooms.
Yes.
Oof.
She walks in the room. And I'm like, I thought she was in bed, right? So now I'm just like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm going through that, and Spirit's like, stop. Okay? She looked like my mom. Her hair was long down to the floor. This is what I'm seeing. And she comes over. She puts her hand on my chest, and she said, can you release that anger now? They're here and they're waiting for it. It's time for you to let that go. It doesn't matter what anybody did to you. You're still here. You're whole and you're beautiful. And then I look at her and she said, I'm going to bed now, Mom. I love you. Kisses me on my forehead and walks out of the room. Soon as she walked out, I unleashed tears like you would not believe. Like it was like
ugly snot crying.
Ugly snot. I was like, who is she? Like, she's an angel. Like, I'm like, what? I thought she was in bed. This is like 11:30. She just walks up, does that, because I was angry. I'm telling you, I was walking around the house. I was like, ooh, right? I was, ooh, I don't like this trip. This is, ooh. It was everything I didn't want to feel. I was like, right? but I wasn't giving it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give it to my aunt. They wanted to take that from me.
So did you give it to them?
Yes.
Like for real?
For real, for real. I'm not mad anymore. I'm not afraid to be me. I'm not looking for an apology that I'm never going to get. I'm not expecting that. I'm not... Expectations out the window. Everyone has their path.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone makes their choice. I don't have to live with it. Everyone knows what they did. Everyone knows the part that they played. Everywhere in life. That's what the devil never wants you to, like, Tanya, be mad at your dad. He played his part. Why was I ever mad at him? Tanya, be angry at your children's father. Be mad at your sisters. Why? Everyone has a part to play. And that's the beauty about the psychedelics. That's why they don't talk about it. That's why it's not shared. You know what I mean? Because if you have too many people like me, the way that I think, this world in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
When you break out of the matrix, it's a totally different frequency.
Hang on, let me get my tinfoil cap on. No, I feel you, sis. I feel it. I agree.
Yeah. And it's like addiction played a major part in who I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I tried to hide from, everything that I was ashamed of, it brought me right here. And in the amount of people, you know, I read for people in Trinidad, Greece, the UK. I did that. I created that. I am who I say I am. And if it wasn't for this hardship and the knowledge and the power that I've gained and the wisdom from all of the hurt and the pain, the addiction, the lies, I wouldn't be who I am.
In God's hands.
In God's hands.
Our dark past becomes our greatest asset.
Amen. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like too many people are too afraid to confront the darkness. We all make mistakes.
And it just propagates more darkness.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And if we just stopped and asked ourselves, like, why am I getting high?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What am I running from? You're going to realize what you're running from isn't even real.
90% of my problems never happen.
Ever.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of little sayings.
I'm telling you, right? And it's like sometimes people need those though.
Yeah.
You know, like just a book of puns. And that's like literally what I do. You know what I mean? It's like if you can't laugh at it and learn from it, you got to leave it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You got to leave it because what we need to do on this spiritual journey, even with addiction, is you have to learn to turn your pain into your purpose.
Yeah.
You understand where the devil gets you? That's what you're going to show up and do for the world, and he doesn't want that.
Mm-hmm. The other day, my son, we were sitting at family dinner, and my son says, mistakes are okay because they're lessons. And I said, who taught you that? And he's like, you did, Dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't that the most fulfilling feeling?
Oh, I can't even begin. My son, like, he's going to be turning 12 right away.
Yep.
And like, he's just turning into this young man.
Yep.
You know?
Right before your eyes.
Yeah. And like, he has healing. He has work to do in this family.
Yep.
To carry it forward.
Yep.
You know, and I'm just starting to like, just because like, I haven't been perfect. I've been sober almost 9 years.
Yep.
But like, I haven't been perfect in that time.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination.
That's right.
You know, like even just yesterday, he made me real mad in the garage, and I'm swearing. He's like, Dad, stop swearing. I'm like,
oh, I hate
didn't
when
say
they
any-
do that.
oh, I know. I want to swear more now.
I know. You're like, how dare you?
But he's like, it's annoying. And then a couple minutes go by. I'm like, I'm sorry, I was swearing. I'll try to stop. He's like, you will stop.
Yep.
You won't try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my worst thing right now, my daughter, it's terrible for the body. So I quit everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I vape, and she texts me, my 8-year-old now, she texts me and she shows me these breathable chewing, no smoke. It's not bad for you. No toxins, anything, right? It's just like this little thing to help you.
Mm-hmm.
She sends it to me. I said, oh, that's kind of cool. Like on Messenger, right? I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, baby. She's like, yeah, you should get it and use it. Stop vaping now. You should stop vaping now. I have the texts, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
who is this kid?
I hate it when they're right.
I hate that. Like,
but that's the low vibe part of me,
I
right?
know, but it's so crazy for us to see that we are doing better than what our parents did, because the simple fact that our children feel safe enough.
They know what better looks like.
Yes, and they feel safe enough to even. You think I would ever tell my mom to quit doing pills, drinking, or smoking? Yeah, effing right. The back of her hand, boof, on me. I would never even do that. And the simple fact that my kids are close enough with me to be like, hey, mom, this is going on, or hey, I think you should stop doing that, or hey, mom, this isn't good for you. It's a beautiful thing, right? I think we're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're healing our children, our lineage, which then means our grandchildren aren't going to have to suffer.
7 generations.
That's right. And it's like one of us had to be brave enough. And in my bloodline, it was me.
You mentioned you started a business.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I got my certification in Reiki healing. And then I do tarot. So I'm an influencer as well on TikTok, and I got my Facebook and YouTube, right? And so I started that. And I was never, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not one to really, listen to someone or have someone tell me when I get to go pee, or I'm an entrepreneur. Let's just put it that way. I'll work when I want to work, right? I'll go on a break when I want to go on a break. So I created that. And when I first started in 2019, I literally said in the mirror every day, you are the best tarot reader ever. And you're going to reach people all over the world. I created that. I literally am. I still haven't met a reader that's better than me. And I don't say that with cockiness. That's confidence. Everything that I have worked through, every hardship, has been my milestone on how to read these cards. I see them different. Other people look at a card and it's a 6 of Wands. I see warrior. I see guidance. I see hurt. You know what I mean? It's like I realized everything that I went through. That was my freaking compass to where I am right now.
What was your education?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you grateful for it all now?
All of it.
Every single bit.
Every single bit. And that is the part that I hope even you share with people is, man, it's just a moment. It's not forever, right?
Yeah.
That's what I realized is like I was holding all of this in. I thought it was my forever. It was a moment. It was a moment. That's all it was. And life is about learning.
And unlearning.
There's things in our frequency that just, they're not supposed to be there, and it's okay. It's okay. That's what I want to tell people, that it's okay. I'm not saying what happened to people, like what happened to me as a little girl. That's why I was so promiscuous, because I didn't give a shit about my body, because of the things that happened to me when I was young. That's not okay, but I am okay. And God will always find a way to show you that it is okay. And when I say that, so I do the Canadian psychic, like the Galaxy Fair psychic tour. So it's all the best Canadian psychics, and we travel around Canada and we do shows. My very first year when I was out there was a girl sitting across from me, and something happened to her when she was young. I kept seeing it, right? I was like, come on, spirit. Like, this is what? So I say that to her, and she said, no, nothing happened to me. So I'm shuffling my cards, right? None of them are jumping out. I'm like, I only take jumpers, right? Because that's my connection with spirit. My cards, they'll jump. And so nothing. I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? They won't take the thought out of my head either. And so she's sitting there. I can't get a card. I shuffle, can't get a card. And I'm like, spirit, talking to them, eyes closed, right? I'm like, you guys got to help me here, because she is saying this didn't happen to her, and I'm not going to force somebody to talk about something that they don't even want to acknowledge. Like, that is rude, right? I'm like talking to them. Stop this.
You're accusing the spirits of being rude.
Yes, I'm serious, right?
Yeah,
and listen, this is great.
Yeah.
This is really great. So then They show me a picture, a vision of me after that happened to me. The way my little legs were curled up and I just felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at her and I said, you know, that happened to me when I was young. That's all she needed to hear. She melted like butter. And she's like, did it? I said, yeah. I said, I couldn't talk about it with anybody. Nobody would have believed me. Except for my sister, the one who's on the other side. She knew, right? I said, I know. I know what you're going through. And so we continued our session. And it was in that moment that I realized that God had used me for her. She carried that for 39. I think she was 39 at that time. 39 years. She carried that. And I'm very proud to say that she is now an advocate for children who are dealing with sexual assault in foster care, family institutions all over Canada. She realized that that was her passion. She was doing these mundane jobs, you know. That's why they wouldn't let me get past it, because I was a step, although those are her steps, I was a step for her in her journey. And I don't feel like anybody else would have. Right? It was that moment. I was like, all these years, Tanya, yelling at God, being like, why did this happen? Why did this happen?
None of your business.
Right. He'll show you when the time is right. And it was that moment.
Yeah.
It was right there. I was like,
yeah.
That's it. We'll never understand if we keep holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. That's what I mean by saying it's okay. He never, ever, God has never gotten it wrong. And he won't. So, with all that, led me to here. I read for people all over the world. I tour around Canada.
Where can people find you, or can they reach out to you?
Tanya's Tarot and Reiki.com.
Okay.
Yeah, my website. I got my TikTok, which is under my name, Tanya Nicole Ironchild. And then I got my Facebook, Tanya's Tarot and Reiki. Readings, actually. Tanya's Tarot. Tanya's Psychic Readings. There you go.
I'll put some links in the
the links.
show.
Yeah.
The links are in the show notes. Don't listen to it. They're down there.
Really, honestly, I don't connect to myself. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I don't send myself emails. So this is something that, and you know, I love how you said that your son is going to do healing.
I hope so. I mean, I'm who am I?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna
feel it though. You feel it. I mean, yes, like you said,
7 generations.
Yes.
You know, and it's going to be his healing to do whether I like it or not.
That's right.
It's not up to me.
It's not. Our kids are not ours.
Yeah.
You know, this is one thing that I want to share with people is, you know, when your children say to you, I didn't ask to be here, you tell them, yeah, actually, yeah, you did. Every soul has a contract. Everyone. So when your children, guys, ever say to you, I didn't ask to be here, I want you guys to respond to that with, you damn did. Yeah, you did. Every single one of us have a soul contract, and it's up to us. It's up to us if we choose to fulfill that, if we choose to walk that journey, because life is a series of choices.
Our signature is on every part of our life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly, and indifferent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tanya, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes.
This has been a wild adventure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Take good care, my friend.
Yes, you too.
Hold up. If this hit home or made you think, help us get these stories out there. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and before you go, check out another episode. The more you engage, the more the algorithm shares these voices with the people who need to hear them. Big shout out to SEIU West, our official equipment sponsor, improving the lives of working people and their families and leading the way to a more just and humane society. Find their link in the show notes.
Say, this is Hard Knocks Talks.